The Ridwan dynasty was the most prominent Pasha family in Palestine and the southwestern districts of the Damascus Eyalet in the 16th and 17th centuries under Ottoman rule. The dynasty was based in Gaza, where its members continuously served as the hereditary Sanjak begs of the Sanjak for over a century. Members also ruled different provinces and districts throughout the Ottoman Empire and held additional titles at different times. The Ridwan period in Gaza was considered the city's last golden age. The dynasty was founded by Kara Shah Mustafa, who served as governor of a number of provinces and districts, including Gaza, during his career. However, the dynasty was named after Mustafa's son Ridwan Pasha, who served as Gaza's governor in 1570 until he was succeeded in this office by his son Ahmad Pasha ibn Ridwan in 1572. The latter served for 30 years, during which time Gaza became the chief stronghold of the dynasty. The Sanjaks of Jerusalem and Nablus were made part of Ahmad Pasha's domain intermittently throughout his rule. After Ahmad Pasha was reassigned as Beylerbey of Damascus in 1601, his son Hassan Ara Pasha inherited Gaza's governorship, occupying the office for 43 years. His rule impoverished Gaza and bankrupted the dynasty. Hassan Pasha's son and successor Hussein Pasha was appointed the office in 1644 and he served until 1672. Under Hussein Pasha's leadership, Gaza became a prosperous, secure and religiously diverse city. He was deposed and executed by the Ottoman authorities in 1663, after which his brother Musa Pasha was appointed to the post, serving the office until 1679. The last Ridwan governor of Gaza was Musa Pasha's son Ahmad Pasha, whose governorship ended in 1690. History. Founding the Ridwan dynasty was founded by Kara Shah Mustafa, an ethnic Bosnian, and former Kapikulu of Suleiman the Magnificent. As part of the Ottoman Devshirme system, Mustafa Pasha received his education from the inner service of the palace, gradually being promoted to high-ranking positions in the government. In 1524, after having successively served as the governor of Erzurum and Diyarbakir and then as the personal tutor of Sultan Suleiman's son Shahzaid Bayezid, he was temporarily appointed the governorship of Gaza, which was the capital of a Sanjak, still maintaining its importance from the previous Mamluk era. By 1560, he had been promoted to the governorship of Egypt. Mustafa Pasha was succeeded as governor of Gaza by his son Ridwan Pasha, who gave the Ridwan dynasty its name. Ridwan had formerly served as the treasurer of Yemen. In 1565, Ridwan Pasha was promoted to Beylerbey of Yemen for 2 years before returning to rule Gaza for a short period of time in 1567. Meanwhile, in 1566, Mustafa Pasha was deposed by the new Sultan Selim II for his closeness to Bayezid, Selim's brother and rival for power. Mustafa Pasha died shortly thereafter. According to historian Jean-Pierre Fillier, Ridwan became governor of Gaza in 1570. By 1571, Ridwan Pasha had been promoted to Wali of Habesh, Basra and Diyarbakir in succession, while Bahram Pasha, a second son of Mustafa Pasha and a high-ranking official in the Ottoman government, became governor of Nablus in the mid-16th century. After some time, Bahram Pasha was promoted to Beylerbey of Damascus and later Emir al-Hajj, making him responsible for the Muslim pilgrimage caravan to Mecca. Stronghold in Gaza. In Gaza, Ridwan Pasha was replaced by his son Ahmad Pasha, who ruled for nearly 30 years. At times during his rule, the Sanjaks of Nablus and Jerusalem were attached to Gaza Sanjak. The latter became the family's stronghold and base of power under Ahmad Pasha's leadership. Towards the 17th century, he had the Mamluk era Qas al-Basha in Gaza enlarged and transformed into the family's fortress and governor's palace. Ahmad Pasha intermittently served as Emir al-Hajj, but struggled to gain further promotion by the Ottoman government. having to lobby several Istanbul-based viziers and bureaucrats with large sums of money and other gifts. Unlike his predecessors, he was eventually appointed as governor of Damascus in 1601, while his son Hassan Faruk Pasha subsequently inherited the governorship of Gaza. Ahmad Pasha later died in 1607. Hassan Pasha's nickname Faruk derived from the Ridwan family's good relations with and reputation for keeping the Bedouin tribes in check. When Hassan was commissioned by Sultan Murad IV to help suppress the long-running rebellion of Fakhr-ad-Din II, Hassan's Bedouin units often proved effective in battle. During this period, Hassan Pasha gained the additional governorship of Tripoli, although he was deposed in 1644. His rule impoverished Gaza Sanjak and burdened the Ridwan family with heavy debts. According to the Damascene historian and Hassan's contemporary, Muhammad Amin al-Mahibi, Hassan Pasha had numerous wives and concubines and fathered 85 children. During Hassan Pasha's lifetime, one of his sons, Hussein Pasha, served as governor of Nablus and Jerusalem as well as Emir al-Hajj. After Hassan Pasha's 1644 dismissal, Hussein Pasha inherited the governorship of Gaza or administered the district well, because he was able to guarantee the safety of the main roads and the countryside by securing and maintaining close relations with the local Bedouin tribes. Gaza and other cities in Palestine were able to prosper and develop extensively during Hussein Pasha's reign. The city's importance was elevated to the point where Gaza was considered the capital of Palestine by the French consul of Sidon, Chevalier d'Arvier. Hussein Pasha also developed friendly relationships with the city's Christian and Jewish communities, allowing the former to construct new churches and restore existing ones. Hussein Pasha appointed his son Ibrahim as governor of Jerusalem, but Ibrahim died in a 1661 military expedition against the Druze clans of Lebanon. In 1663, Hussein Pasha was sent on an expedition to assist the governor of Damascus in quelling a Bedouin rebellion, but failed and left the battle disgraced. After petitions by his enemies in the Ottoman government, he was summoned to Istanbul where he was imprisoned and killed shortly afterward. According to historian Drawseva, the Ottoman state became wary of the growing power of the Ridwans and believed that eliminating Hussein Pasha would enable them to destroy the remnants of the extended dynasty. The imperial authorities were also uncomfortable with Hussein Pasha's ties to the French consul and the local Christians. According to Filia, Hussein's elimination was a result of this special relationship. Musa Pasha succeeded his brother Hussein Pasha as governor of Gaza and central Palestine, but the length of his tenure is not exactly known, although a document from Jerusalem in 1670 listed him as governor. According to historian Jean-Pierre Filia, Musa Pasha's rule ended in 1679. Musa discontinued Hussein's liberal policies with non-Muslims and was more cautious of Ottoman wishes during his rule. Ahmad Pasha ibn Musa succeeded his father and was the last Ridwan governor of Gaza, serving until 1690. Following the end of his rule, the Ridwan dynasty was stripped of its hereditary governorship and afterward officials appointed by the Ottoman government came to rule Gaza, which gradually declined in importance. This coincided with the general withdrawal of support for local dynasties from the Sublime Porte. The modern-day descendants of the Ridwan dynasty are known in Gaza as the al-Basha or House of the Pashas. Culture. The Ridwan family modeled their dynasty on the Imperial Ottoman household, and during military engagements they would carry battle standards representing their dynasty and bring marching bands. The Ridwan family saw themselves as the leaders of the wider region and the patrons of other ruling families. Faruk Pasha, the Circassian governor of Jerusalem and founder of the prominent Faruk dynasty, was a former Mamluk of Bahram Pasha. The Faruk dynasty ruled the Nablus Sanjak up until the mid-17th century. Khawan, another Mamluk of the Ridwan dynasty, became a major aide to the governor of Damascus before his son gained the governorship and the office of Emir al-Hajj in the 1670s. It is not known whether the Ridwan family members prefer to use Arabic or Turkish to communicate with each other and the mostly Arabic-speaking people living in the districts. As Ottoman officials, they spoke Turkish well, but it is also apparent that they were well versed in Arabic language and customs, due to the command of Arabic literature possessed by the various Ridwan governors and the close ties they maintained with the local elites, such as the Arab Turabe family, and the Bedouin tribes. With the exception of imperial or provincial decrees, court records in the Sanjaks of Gaza, Nablus, Jerusalem and Lajin, which the Ridwans and their allies often ruled, were recorded in Arabic, although the Qadi was typically an imperial Turkish speaker and thus, Turkish language records were not required. The intermarriage and socio-political ties that the Ridwans maintained with the Turabes and the Circassian Faruks created a new Bedouin Ottoman hybrid culture that was evident in court life, dress and probably language as well. According to historian Draws Eva, Ridwan Turabe Faruk alliance between the 16th and 17th centuries, three families controlled the Sanjaks that constituted the region of Palestine. The Ridwans presided over Gaza, while the Faruks and Turabes presided over Nablus and Lajin, respectively. Because of common interests and prior military-slave relationships, the three families forged close ties throughout the course of their rule. The Ridwans were the dominant faction in this emerging unified dynasty. Evidence of intermarriage between the families is indicated by Ottoman registers. For example, the granddaughter of Ahmad ibn Turabe, the founder of the Turabe dynasty, was the mother of Governor Asaf Faruk Pasha. Asaf's wife was Shakra Khatun, a daughter of Governor Hussein Pasha. After the deaths of Asaf Pasha and Shakra, two of their sons, Muhammad Bey and Ali Bey, entered the custody of Hussein's brother, Governor Musa Pasha. A daughter of Hassan, Arab Pasha, sister to Musa and Hussein, was married to Asaf's brother Ali Faruk. Sharing common property also helped sustain the family's unity. The Ridwan Faruk Turabe alliance treated the territories of Palestine in, at times, Transjordan, as hereditary fiefdoms. During troublesome periods, the three families would unite their forces to confront challengers from rebels or local rivals. The military relationship between them originated with the protection of the annual Hajj caravan. When a particular governor was assigned the role of Emir al-Hajj, it would require him to depart from his Sanjak for extended time periods, in order to protect their districts from Bedouin raids, tax evasion and personal property damage. Departing governors normally entrusted their authority with the rulers of the neighboring Sanjak. For example, in 1589, Ridwan Pasha requested Asaf ibn Turabe to temporarily replace him as governor of Damascus, beginning a tradition that lasted well into the 17th century. The mutual trust between the families developed into a firm military alliance in the early 17th century as a result of the increasing strength of Fakhr al-Din II in Ottoman Syria. Backed by the Medici Grand Duke of Tuscany, Fakhr al-Din briefly repaired his relations with the Ottoman government and in 1622 gained control of the Safad and Ajlan Sanjaks, became governor of Nablus and appointed Mutasalim of Gaza. His forces proceeded to head towards Jerusalem, traversing Palestine's coastal plain. Fakhr al-Din's moves threatened the rule of the three families who, after encouragement from the Sublime Porte in Istanbul, formed a coalition to stop his advance. In 1623, the armies of Hassan, Arab Pasha, Muhammad ibn Faruk and Ahmad ibn Turabe successfully routed Fakhr al-Din's army at the Oya River, forcing him to withdraw from Palestine. Building works throughout their reign, the Ridwan dynasty accumulated vast wealth in Gaza, including agricultural lands and several real estate properties. The family allocated a large part of that wealth to Aukoff, which they used to fund the construction and maintenance of various public buildings. Some members of the dynasty were buried in Maqbarat al-Ridwan, located just south of the Great Mosque of Gaza. As of 2008, the cemetery contained a few marble graves. The family restored the minarets of two mosques in the Shuria quarter of Gaza, while Musa Pasha had the minaret of the Great Mosque of Gaza rebuilt. A mosque was also constructed within the confines of the Qas al-Basha fortress, which later came to be known as the Ridwan Castle in light of its function as the Ridwan's residence. The fortress itself was outfitted with additional defenses, including arrow slits and narrow openings, which were extended to employ the use of cannon. During Ridwan rule, the Caesarea marketing Gaza's al-Daraj quarter was reconstructed, as was the Hammam al-Samara bathhouse and the former Khan Arizona's 8 caravanserai. Bahram Pasha ordered the construction of the main Sabil in Gaza in the mid-16th century. At the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, Ahmad Pasha ibn Ridwan had a Khalwa, known as the Mamluk Khalwa, built for local Sufis headed by Al-Ghazi Abu al-Saud, and for the study of Islamic jurisprudence in 1601. The architect of the Khalwa was Abd al-Muhsin ibn Nimr, who worked Ahmad Pasha's other projects in Jerusalem. Ahmad Pasha established a Waqf to fund Abu al-Saud and the Khalwa's upkeep and management. Bibliography. Filia, Jean-Pierre. Gaza, A History. Oxford University Press. ISBN 9780190201890. Labert, Jean-Baptiste. Memoires du Chevalier d'Avier. Charles Jean-Baptiste Delespine. Natsher, Yusuf. Northwestern Khalwa of Ahmad Pasha. Pilgrimage, Sciences and Sufism. Islamic Art in the West Bank and Gaza. Museum with No Frontiers. ISBN 9783902782113. Shahan, Mariam. Palestine. A Guide. Interlinked Books. ISBN 1-56656-557-X. Sharon, Moshe. Corpus Inscriptionum Arabicarum Palestini, G4. Brill. ISBN 90-04-170855-5. Wartenpour, Hegnar. The Image of an Ottoman City. Imperial Architecture and the Representation of Urban Life in Aleppo in the 16th and 17th Centuries. University of California. Ziva, Draw. An Ottoman Century. The District of Jerusalem in the 1600s. Sunny Press. ISBN 0-7914-2915-6.